morning show.
Have you ever wondered how to save your money and where to save your money or how to make money? Having money is not necessary for building wealth. Wealth is a long-lasting plan going on for generations. Let Wanda tell you how. Tune in to Wanda's Wealth Moments every Wednesday at 9:30 and learn how to.
Good morning, my friends, and welcome to another segment of Wanda's Wealth Moments, where every week you get to listen, learn, and earn some facts, flows, and tidbits about wealth. And yes, you got it. Every week, the same thing, the weather too. Not that you're not following the weather, but I got to give you, my take on it as well. So what are we looking at this morning? So it's saying here a high of, I think, expected high of 24 degrees out my side of the world. Okay, I don't know what's going on in Claremont side or in Albany, but I know my side up to 24, and it's going to be bright and sunny. And did you know that today is not only my mother's birthday, but it's the first day of summer? Woo-hoo! Love it. Actually, I got to call my mom. I just remembered now I'm talking. Yeah. So it's the first day of summer, guys. It's been feeling like that anyways for the past couple weeks or so. So enjoy it every single day. Do not complain. I don't care how hot it is. Again, for most folks, they'll take the heat over the snow any day, right? Right? I know I would. So yes, it's going to be a beautiful day today. So get out there and enjoy it while you can. So with that being said, I wanted to continue off where we left off last week. So this is the interactive show again today. He's like, oh gosh, again. Yes, again. I love it. So we were talking last week. Let me get my little notes here. We were talking about the 7 biggest financial worries that are out there. So the 7 biggest financial worries. And again, this is an article from Holistic Investments. So I like looking up all different articles and their take on things. And it's always fun to kind of see what's going on out there and get their perspective. So they did their own survey, and they've discovered that there were seven of them. Biggest, I'm sure there's plenty more financial worries out there, but the biggest ones out there. So last week, I believe we went through, and correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, she's got her notes. She's ready. She's ready. She's ready. Ooh, she's on top of it.
7, 6, and 5. I got it written down here.
7, 6, and 5. Beautiful. So we discovered that it was number 7, fear of loss in the stock market. Okay. Mm-hmm. Number 6, fear of working immortally. People say they're going to work till they die, right? Yeah, that's a big fear out there. Number 5 was stolen identity. Have you ever had your identity stolen before? Anybody? No? Praise God. Yeah, thank God. You don't want that at all. No. Right? That is a scary. And
actually, I think I did.
Yes?
Because I was called by CRA, and they were asking me if I lived out in Vancouver, and I said, no, I never lived there. I never left Ontario, period. For a matter of fact, I never left Toronto. And they said, yeah, because they think somebody had my information out there, so they were able to deal with that very quick. That's back in the day. They went in that very quickly, so that was taken care of.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. That's crazy. Literally, a friend of mine just a couple of days told me that somebody got access to her banking information, they like her credit card, and then noticed all these purchases were being made, and then somehow they got access to her SIN number, and they tried to change things on her credit report. I was like, whoa, okay.
I've also had my bank card, my credit card, at Tiffany's. I didn't even know who Tiffany's was. I got to tell you this quick story.
Tiffany's.
Tiffany's.
What were you doing at Tiffany's?
No, I wasn't at Tiffany's. So the credit card called me and says, did you do any spending at Tiffany? I said, who's Tiffany? I don't know her. Listen, I could hear the guy laughing. He said, "Sir, it's a store." I says, "Oh, sorry, I don't know about Tiffany's." He says, "I can definitely tell you we're shopping at Tiffany's." So he says, "Okay, we'll," and it was like over $1,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you see
Oh,
that?
that's so funny. Now that you guys are saying that, I remember I traveled south in the US one year, and on my way back, I stopped and got gas. And I remember the not being able to use it at the pump, and I had to bring my card inside and then go through the pump. Bottom line is, about 2 days after I got back, I went to go use my card at the bank, and they kept my card. I'm like, what? So I had to go inside. Turns out that my number was being used at a Motel 6 down south.
Wow.
And I recall calling my bank at the time and telling them I will be back in upstate New York at such and such a time. And it's the day after the date I gave them that somebody tried to use my bank card.
Wow.
Look at that, eh?
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at that. You have to be so careful out there. I'm
Sure
telling
do.
you.
You sure
And with
do.
technology in this day and age, it just seems it's
Mm.
making it so much easier
But
for
this
you.
was about 6 years ago. So
Oh, look at that.
yeah,
See? See?
exactly. Exactly. Crazy.
That's
Crazy.
crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. So, we got to be very careful. So that's one of the biggest financial worries out there is stolen identity because anybody could do anything with your
Right.
identity, right?
Right.
So
Right.
you got to be very, very mindful. So let's hop on to point number 4. What do you think number 4 would be? Since I know Fati's ready. She's got stuff. She's got her stuff.
I wrote down the last three so I remember where we stopped, and I don't know. I'm thinking maybe greatest job loss.
Job loss. Okay. All right. Job loss. All right. I like that. And Clara, what do you think?
And since we're talking about identity theft, I'm gonna go with identity theft.
But we already
That
established
was number five,
That was
sir.
number 5?
That was yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was
Yes.
number
So
five.
job loss. I would more look at becoming ill.
Becoming ill?
Health.
Yeah, and
Oh,
unable
health.
to
Okay.
work.
That's a good
Health.
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a
In my
serious
research,
question.
health was one of them.
Yeah,
In my
Okay.
research.
In your research, yeah.
I didn't research.
like
I
that.
just look.
Oh, geez. Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
Okay, we gotta speed this
Oh.
up. We got like about
Okay.
4 minutes
The
to
point
go.
number
I know,
4
right?
is
Yeah.
severe indebtedness.
Say what?
Not just being
It's
in debt. Not just being in debt. Severe indebtedness.
Oh,
Yeah,
Severe.
that was one of them.
Mhm.
Insurmountable debt.
That's right.
On my list, that was number
Yeah.
3.
I mean, think about it. Student loans, credit cards, lines of credits, personal loans, a lot of these things, they rack up and they okay.
wow.
One debt on top of the other, because sometimes they use one to pay the other. So you take Peter to pay Paul, and the next, nobody's getting paid.
Yeah, you're paying Peter to pay Paul and Timothy coming back to
Yes.
pay Paul, and yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. It's serious out there. I see that a lot actually. Severe debt, and then your back's up against the wall and you're thinking, where do I begin? What do I do? Do I pay this one off? Do I pay that one off? Should I transfer this one over here? Should I just scrape a little bit here, scrape, and then you just anxiety and tension and frustration, and you just want to just throw your hands up in the air like, oh, I can't anymore, right? And I because I see it so much out there, at the end of the day, listen, if you get yourself in it, you can always get yourself out of it.
Amen.
It's just kind of taking the time to look at everything you got going on and think,
Right.
okay, well, maybe I'm paying this much in interest here over here, and paying this much in interest over here. Maybe if you have a small line or a line of credit where the interest rate is lower, credit cards tend to be higher. They usually tend to be higher.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
So if you can transfer some of that onto the line as opposed to maybe just focusing paying here and paying here, try your best to reduce it down. I always look at different ways to kind of help eliminate the debt quicker. Even if you have 2 or 3 credit cards and they're all maybe 18, 19%, 17%, whatnot, maybe, and there's no wrong or right, but I tend to
Mhm.
try to sometimes look at the smallest debt first. Doesn't matter, even if you have the biggest one with the highest amount of interest. Try to tackle tackle bite sizes, tackle the smallest one, get rid of it. Then you can breathe. You're like, wow, I did it. I did it. Then you can look at another one and say, okay, you know what?
Right.
Small chunks, small chunks. So keep doing the minimums that are required on all the consumer debt that you have. So if the minimum on one is $50, the other one is $100, the other one's maybe $30. Keep paying all the minimums on all of them, but with the smallest debt that you have, pay more than the minimum and aggressively attack that. Okay. So that when that's cleared off, the amount that you've been throwing on the minimum, on the smallest balance, now roll that onto the next debt. So that's called snowballing or accelerating the debt. Okay. So you're aggressively attacking one while you continue the minimums on the other. And then when you get rid of it, take all the money that you've been throwing onto the one and now roll it onto the other one. Right. You'd be surprised how quickly you can get rid of it. Okay, you can be. And of course, there's other strategies I think I've talked about in the past before. Depending on your financial situation, you can do what's called RSP loans and whatnot that can help clean off some debt while increasing or growing your assets. So you have an increasing asset on a declining balance. So you're making a debt work for you and not against you. So there's different ways of doing things, but it's all dependent on your financial situation. Okay, so that's important. So yes, number 4, severe indebtedness is a huge one right there. Okay, let's look at number 3. What do you think number 3 is? I think it's
He said illness, but I had my list had unexpected emergencies.
Oh, I like that. Unexpected emergency. All right, Claremont, you're looking like you're lost there, like a deer in lights. So what's happening here?
No, because I'm gonna go back. I'm still gonna go back to health issues. That has to be on the list. So it has to be on the list.
It has to be on the list.
It has to be on the list.
I'll tell you what my list says.
Okay.
It says excessive debt and homelessness.
Really?
Yeah, excessive. I mean, it seems along the lines of the other one, severe debt, but this is excessive debt and homelessness. Okay, because it's right along the lines of what Faith T said. Joblessness can create homelessness. It can, right? Joblessness can create homelessness. I mean, if you're not working, you have no source of income coming in. Eventually, at some point, if you can't maintain the roof over your head, you're homeless.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a big fear for many folks, right? What are you going to do? And it can get quite difficult out there, but at the end of the day, it's being resourceful. It's being very, like, you can be resourceful out there and figure it out and make it work, no matter how hard times can. BT and I were just talking about that just before the show, right? The challenges,
right.
Challenges, but you find a way out all the time. You always find a way, because mankind that creates the challenges. I always remember that. It's mankind creates the challenges out there. I think I've heard Clearman say that before, right? Okay. So you know what? We're going to leave that off today. I want to leave the last 2 to next week, because I think this is good. This is good to
yeah, it is. You're going to make me go do the hunting now, the research.
Yes. Okay, only 2 points. I think
only 2 left. Right.
Yeah,
only 2 left.
Yeah. I want to say this just before you go, Wanda. In terms of severe death, I was there.
Yep.
And you helped me out.
Yep.
I was there.
That's
so
right.
We panic because we think we'll never get out of it. You will. It may take a while, but the point is you do get out of it. When you get out of it, you look back and like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Not that I want to go back there, but it wasn't as bad. But you do get out of it.
Yeah, you're right. You do, right? And then it's like you just breathe a huge sigh of relief, and then you look back and think, wow, really? It wasn't as bad as I thought. Really? But in the moment, you think it's the end of the world. Okay. If you got yourself in it, you can absolutely get yourself out of it. It may not be as fast as you'd like, but it can still happen as long as you're focusing your discipline and you're willing to do it. I'm telling you, you can. Okay. I got my hard times too. Okay. I've gone through challenges too. Still going through some challenges, not on the financial front, but not just, so it's like every day. So I know Beatty and Claremont are praying for me every day. Right. Okay. But yes, you can. You can. So on that note, we're going to leave it off on that. There's only 2 more points. Do your homework. Do your homework. You could figure out.
I will.
The last 2.
No, he's going to come back and say help.
I know again.
It's got to be on there.
It's got to be on there. Thank you so much, Wanda. We're going to spin this
Yes.
over to Faith as we come off the. By the way, folks, just want to let you know if you missed it, you can always go on to our YouTube page, SPR Live, Streaming Praise Radio, YouTube channel, and you will find us there.